Hey guys, so welcome to my site. If you are finding my site, obviously you came through one of my Facebook ads, or if you guys were referred by a friend, or if you guys were Googling and my site popped up. Welcome, and I wanted to record this video to talk a little bit more in detail about who I am, my background, and why. If you have any of the challenges that you've seen listed above on my website, whether you're B2B and you're struggling to get your sales teams, selling enough deals and moving things forward, or you're B2C, right? You're focused on kind of the general marketplace, and you do garage door repair, or you sell windows, or you sell directly to homeowners or consumers, and you're struggling to get your marketing in place. I can definitely help you there as well. So wanted to record this video to talk a little bit about my background, let you guys kind of see me and who I am, and what some of the experience of potentially working together would look like. So first, let's start on the B2B side. So for 10 years, I've been starting companies, growing sales teams, working in marketing. My background, primarily, I started as a sales rep. My very first sales job was outside, in the middle of the winter, cold calling on homeowners, literally door-to-door sales. Had no idea about how to do sales at all. Was thrown in like the total deep end, and probably one of the worst sales jobs you could literally have. That's where I started. And so what I would do every day is I would go knock on doors trying to selling cable. I had just quit med school, by the way, so brilliant idea at this time. And what I would do is I'd go out and sell during the day, and at night I would come home and read every book on sales I could get my hands on. The Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? Like Frank Betzker's How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling. I would just study these guys, the Jim Rohns and the Tony Robbins, and I would just study sales and personality. So over the last 10 years, what I've really tried to become is a student of sales and a student of marketing, to understand why people buy, why companies buy, why consumers buy, and how do we make that process come together for our organizations. How do we figure out how to align our products in the marketplace so people will buy them, so we can grow our companies, we can make money, our consumers, or the people we sell to, our clients, are happy. That's what I've been all about for the last 10 years. So on the B2B side, let's start there and talk about that, because B2B is the majority of my clientele. Why people hire me for B2B is they have these common problems. I've got sales reps and they won't call enough. They won't cold call enough. They won't build big enough pipelines. I can work with you to help you on that. There's several things to consider on that side. One is, if you have older sales reps that are kind of the old guard that grew up, out there cold calling, once they build a book of business, their natural tendency is to calm down and to kind of rest on their laurels, because the goal was they didn't want to have to cold call forever. Okay. So there's ways to change your organization to actually change the philosophy and the culture so that people are much more excited about cold calling and driving more revenue. But the other side of the coin is making your systems as efficient as possible with your cold email systems, your phone systems, your LinkedIn outreach, making things as efficient as possible so reps don't have to pound the phones day in and day out, making 150 calls to hit their numbers. If you work with them to make the systems as efficient as possible, and they believe you're doing that, they will work hard for you because they know that they're working smart. And today's worker in the workforce and in sales, they want to work smart. They're not afraid to work hard. They're not afraid to make phone calls. But why they don't make calls today, now there's some employees that are just lazy, but for the employees that aren't, the reason they're not making phone calls is because they don't believe it's the most efficient system to making sales. So what I do is I come in and work with your team and help them understand what the most efficient systems are, work with you to help you understand what systems we need to have in place so we get the maximum amount of sales in the shortest period of time. I also work with my clients on things like cold email outreach. What are the best CRMs and the best emailing systems so you can email clients? How do you find who to email? What systems? I mean, there's Zoom Info, there's Datanize, there's Rain King, there's Evention, there's Hoovers. Which one do you use for your organization? Which one's accurate? Which one's cost effective? Once you have that in place, how do you get your reps to use it? How do you do an email system? What do you say in the email? How do you wordsmith those emails? I can help you with all of that. That's exactly what my expertise is. Just to give you guys a quick history. So right now, I also run another company called Proactivate, which is a sales recruiting company. Feel free to message me. I can send you to our website. But I took that company from 0 to 6 figures in sales in about 1 month. And the way I did that was the system I currently use, which I use Close.io as our CRM system. We do bulk emails. We use ZoomInfo as our lead database where we get all of our leads from. And then we do lots of split testing ourselves, A/B testing between different times of day, different messages, which lists. We email the CEO? Do we email the director of HR? Do we email the VP of sales? If we do, what time of day do we email them? We test everything and we try lots of things and we have a ton of activity. And that ramped us from literally 0 to 6 figures in sales in 30 days. We're continuing to grow. So I can pass that stuff along to you guys and help you with those systems. Unlike a lot of other consultants, though, I don't just come in and say, all right, here's your tech stack. Here's the stuff to use. God bless you. I hope it works out. That'll be $5,000. That's not how I work. I believe in service. So the way that I like to work with my clients is to come in and help train and educate you on what I've learned. Then I plug in with your team and help you guys execute it. So helping you actually execute the systems. Let's get the software. Let's get them installed. I'll train you guys on how to use them. We'll use them together. I'll show your sales team how to actually send the emails, how to think about wordsmithing them and getting the content right, how to think about how short they should be, how long they should be. Should they have images? Should they not have images? Should they link to your LinkedIn? Why? Why not? And in coaching your reps on this, it helps them understand how to be more successful because then they learn to think. They aren't just told something to do, right? So that's what I'm all about. If you guys are B2C on the marketing side, so for the last 4.5 years, I ran a marketing agency and we sold to Fortune 1000 companies. We sold to local small businesses or maybe a million or two in sales. And what we did was AdWords, SEO, social media, and email marketing. Those were really our areas. So I've traveled and spoken all around the world on SEO and AdWords and digital marketing. And while I don't offer those services myself, what I can do for your organization is come in and help you understand, are you not getting results there and why? Why are your AdWords bad? Have you been through multiple SEO vendors and you're just not quite getting it right? You're paying a lot of money or maybe you've quit altogether. I have a lot of expertise and experience there. So what I can do is look with you at your website, at your marketing, understand, is your website the problem? Is the company you're using the problem? And I can give you a very educated kind of third-party perspective on what's been happening. Because what I've seen is so many organizations that have given up on marketing in certain ways, like we've stopped doing AdWords, we don't do social media marketing, we stopped doing SEO, because they tried with a couple agencies and they got really bad results and they just quit. And sometimes what the problem is the agencies you used. In the digital marketing world, the challenge is that there's no certifications or training you have to go through. Like if you were to become a doctor, you got to go to med school, you have to pass exams, there's licenses, it's a really difficult process and it weeds out people who don't know what they're doing. In the digital marketing world though, because it's so new and there's frankly no official education, anybody can open a digital marketing agency and basically claim that they're an SEO expert or an AdWords expert, even if they don't really know what they're doing. And they're going to have other clients because other people buy from them the same way. They're not sure if it's good or not. And I've seen so many of those that I've seen countless companies that have been through 2 or 3 of those and just given up. They're like, this isn't going to work. And then I met with them later and said, guys, it's not that SEO doesn't work. SEO works beautifully if you do it correctly and you know the right things. And every single time those guys were buying from companies that just didn't know what they were doing, which is a huge problem because SEO is important for your strategy as a B2C company. You got to show up when people Google you. So if you guys have that problem, I'd love to help you understand what the issue is and then find the right service provider that's a great fit for you. So anyway, guys, this is a little bit about me and my background. I'm going to have a lot more information. Feel free to look at the rest of the site. I'm going to have lots of information on sales tips, tactics, what I believe in, the books that I'm reading, what I think you guys should be looking at from a content perspective. And then, what it's going to say on the bottom of the site too is schedule a free consultation. My first meeting with you is always free. I don't set time limits on them. If you want to talk for 10 minutes or an hour, I want to hear from you and what your problem is specifically with your organization. I want to have a conversation about it. So what do you think needs to be done? What do I think needs to be done? And then if things make sense, potentially we work together. That's how I like to approach it. So great meeting you guys. Look forward to hopefully having a conversation here in the future. Fill out the contact form and give us a call. We'd love to talk. Thanks.